What's up, my dogs? Alright, so today we have Samuel Basalt on the channel. He actually finished top 3 last season with Hog Earthquake, and today he shares some replays for us to go over and just, see what allowed him to finish top 3. If you guys want to check his channel out, it's going to be linked in the description, and let's just get right into the replays. So here he's in the first game against Sandbox. Sandbox seems to be playing a Splasher deck, doesn't have Tornado, so it's a bit better for Hog when the Splasher player doesn't have Tornado, also doesn't have Evil Witch, but has Time. Time is still very annoying in my opinion against against Hog decks because it just resets the Mighty Mire. It's just unpleasant. But Samuel goes for a Hog there first play. Sandbox defends perfectly with a Cage Barber and just goes for a poison. That poison was pretty aggressive, but I guess you can afford it. Just goes for a log there. So Basoda is on the top because Clash Royale mechanics kind of show replays weirdly sometimes, but it doesn't matter. So Basoda's up here like 2 elixir, which just goes for a Mighty Mire at the back. Probably would have done the same thing myself. So in this matchup, the key is to really go opposite lane and just cycle as many firecrackers as you can. They kind of have a hard time dealing with the firecrackers, especially because they don't have tornado. And they have like usually kind of overspend on those hogs. See, here he goes for a hog, just forcing out Evil Cage, making sure Sandbox can't really go for a graveyard. That was a very early ability. I think it was kind of a mistake from Sandbox hand, but yeah, but Soda just allows this time go because here what he's gonna do is he's gonna protect this firecracker with Skellies, and then he can just go for another hog of the bridge because again, Sandbox doesn't have really Tornado in his deck, so he can just break through pretty, or like slightly easier. Actually, goes for a Hog opposite, wait. Goes for a Hog Might. This is a very good play. Goes for our Night blocks and just guards on the Hog. That was a very interesting play. I would have, not thought of it myself. Probably just would have gone for, Mighty Mire Hog in front of the Firecracker. But this is it kind of worked out. He got a hit. Now he's probably gonna be wanting to go opposite lane because goes for a Firecracker there. Wait, that was a very good Firecracker. Just yeah, Sandbox just doesn't really have anything for it. Now it goes for some Skellies here as well, just knowing that Sandbox has to waste a Stein here and just providing so much value. It has to go for a Barbell there as well, just making sure the Firecracker doesn't get another hit. Because if it got another hit, it could like splash the tower, which just wouldn't be optimal for Sandbox. So he goes for a Cage there, goes for a Knight, and I think there's like a flawless defense there. So Basota here, he just goes for a Firecracker. It's probably gonna get poisoned, which is completely fine with him. Just making sure he can't really go for just can't really go for a graveyard quite yet. Goes for a Mighty there, some Skelly just to prevent the knife from taking too much HP off of the Mighty Mire. Goes for E-Spirit there. Those E-Spirit to the bridge are also like pretty huge, just getting like almost 200 damage. So kind of underrated. Goes for an ability there. Goes for a Firecracker. Evil Cage and Psycho, so it's probably not gonna get anywhere. But it goes for a High Can. This is a very interesting play against Splash. I usually like do it myself often because it just allows them to, or like prevents them from going cage and just allows you to, just stack so much more firecrackers. And it goes for an evil firecracker there. This is bro, this is just masterclass. Sandbox goes for a barbell, but he misses. He goes for Art Samuel doesn't protect. I guess he thought the barbell would have hit the evil firecracker. This is the first mistake he's probably made, and Sandbox just poisons the King Tower. I mean, this was just masterclass on Hog Earthquake against Splash Yard. Just played completely perfectly, and I'll see you boys in the next one. Alright, here he's in the next game against Remy Ali, and this might as well be the worst matchup for Hog Earthquake. I have no clue how he managed to win this, especially against a player like Remy, because Remy has like 3 top 1 finishes with this deck, so it's definitely not someone you can really outplay in that regard. But I guess just Samuel just built different. So Remy starts with a Mighty Mire there, but Soda just waiting. I usually would like try to predict the Mighty Mire or the Miner with the Mighty Mire, but he just waited. I guess maybe he wasn't like quick enough, didn't like expect the Miner, but it's very interesting play. So here he goes for a Hog Rider because he has the Mighty Mire tanking, forces out the Bomb Tower from Remy Alley, and this is actually a very huge play. Has to go for a Tornado as well, so he just forced out both of his Hog counters with that. So this is looking pretty good for Samuel Basola right here. If he can just outcycle, get back to another Hog Rider, it could lead to some damage. But Remy knows that. He's gonna go for wall breakers here, just apply enough pressure to where by the time that Basoto's back to the Hog Rider, he's already gonna be back to Bomb Thrust. Goes for Hog Firecracker the bridge here, and Remy wasn't really quite back to the Bomb Tower yet, but he managed to defend pretty decent. That was a very good log as well. So I mean, Basoto got some damage here. He got some earthquake damage. He got a firecracker. So it's looking pretty good. So he told me that in this matchup he want to go opposite lane, which is not something I've been doing. I've usually been going same lane, and the reason for that is because when you go opposite lane, they can just marcher behind the behind their king tower, or like to the side, like on the other side where you're not going into, and then they can have like two magic arts and just not good for you. You just cannot deal with them. But Sota still goes opts to go opposite, which I mean I guess he wants, so can't really say anything. So I think here he goes for Hog. It just goes for Hog Rider. Goes for probably an Earthquake as well. Oh, no, he just lets it go. I just focused on cycling to, another Hog Rider. So he's not really. Also, when he's going for Earthquakes, he's not really like trying to hit a King Tower. He doesn't really like care about it yet. So here Remy goes for a pretty interesting Magic Archer. Doesn't really line up, and Basoda can just go for a cannon. Firecracker doesn't get any splash damage here. That was a bit unfortunate, but Basoda can definitely outcycle here because Bomb Tower is decent against Hog Rider, but if the Firecracker splashes like once, it's just it's just gonna die like too soon. But he goes for a good block there, so I don't think this gets any damage. Goes for Evil Firecracker. They're just getting a few hundred chip damage. Goes for Evil Cannon there. That Evil Cannon was huge. So the Firecracker got like I think just over 200 damage with the sparkles, and then the evil can like manage to splash on the kill the evil wall breakers and splash on the spear goblins, just allowing the evil cracker to die. And here he forces out the tornado as well as the bomb tower. So here he's in a very good position. Goes for mighty there, has to go for can. This is a play that he's doing a lot and that I also love. Is just always play the can on the wall breakers, because Remy goes for this interesting play of just going for evil wall breakers first and then a minor delayed, which makes you think that you can defend it without a cannon, and then you just he goes for a minor, you just have to spend a lot more elixir, and it just puts you in a weird cycle. So against these types of plays, you usually just want a cannon. It's like just the safer option. You could go for E Spirit Log, but if you can cannon, just sometimes it's just better to cannon. So here he goes for a Firecracker. Remy kind of messed up the Marcher, but here he's still down like 400 damage. So 400 damage is a lot in these types of matches. Goes for Spear Goblins the bridge. He's probably just gonna log them. Yep, just goes for a log there. Um, Wall Breaker's the bridge. He goes for just Evil Cannon here. So he places the cannon there, just not allowing the Marcher to really like snipe it at the bridge. I mean, he can go for a Marcher like this, but he can't really Marcher the middle, which is a very huge play. Also, cannon there can like just help DPS down the miner if he goes for it. So here I think he goes for a lock. Yeah, a lock, and I think that was meant to be a firecracker. I think that was a small mistake on Basoda's end, but it doesn't matter. He goes for a cannon there. He goes for E-Spear, just making sure the Marcher dies. So I think here he's gonna just go for Might in front just to protect. Let's go for some Skellies on the miner. Go for a Hog Earthquake here, and he's still down like 500. But here I think this is where he like forced out the tornado, and here he can just like outcycle pretty badly. So Firecracker's still alive. Look at the Firecracker. Look at the Firecracker. Goes for a lock. Firecracker gets a hit. He earthquakes the bomb tower. Also Firecracker behind the Hawk. And this is just masterclass. But he forces that Hawk gets a hit as well. Firecracker still on the tower. This is just he forced out a tornado and a bomb tower on one Hawk, and it just allowed him to outcycle so quickly. It was just beautiful. There's nothing else I can say. It was just beautiful. Just winning 0-100 matchups like it's nothing. And I'll see you boys in the next one. All right, so here he's in the last game against Marvin, and this is the game that got him the number 3 position. So Marvin's playing this P.E.K.K.A. Goblin Giant deck with Arrows Lightning Rage. Just just look at this disgusting deck, bro. I just can I hate playing against this deck so much. I just hate it. So Samuel goes for a very good Ice Barrier, allowed it to like jump on the Shaft Tower and as well as the Bomb Tower. So he cycles a can there, which is not something I usually do. I usually go for like a Mighty Mara opposite thing, but cycling a can is a fairly decent play as well. So he goes for a Firecracker there, maybe not knowing that the opponent had arrows, because this is just a lot of arrows value, and he defends perfectly here, but I don't know how. But maybe not the greatest start for Samuel. So he goes for a Mighty Cannon there, and just cycles to another Firecracker. Marvin goes for a Rage, which you know makes the P.E.K.K.A. kind of broken, but just Samuel just defends perfectly. So here Marvin could have gone for a King Tower, but he actually doesn't go for it. And the reason for that is because he wants to just build a push. He has a slight elixir advantage of what, like about 2 elixir. And if he just went for like guards there or fishermen to activate, he would have just been down like elixir. And they can really just beat you so easily with P.E.K.K.A. Goblin Giant in single. It just crazy. In double it's like slightly harder because you can cycle a bunch of firecrackers, a bunch of cannons. But in single, just one mistake and it's over. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still a pretty tough matchup in double even, but in single it's like where it can be like actually annoying. So here he goes for Mighty Mire ability and Evil Cannon, just trying to kill the Fisherman, but the Evil Cannon nerf doesn't allow it. So Marvin still had to go for arrows on the Firecracker, even though the Fisherman would have pulled it. I guess he just wasn't sure about the, it is a Mecha Goblin Giant player, so can't really expect too much from them. So here he goes for a cannon, and this is where it gets tricky because Marvin uses a rage, and Basoda's just down the elixir. He goes for a Firecracker there, but this is just speed Goblin Giant, bro. Evil Goblin Giant is just it's just not balanced, bro. It's just honestly not balanced. Um, I believe Basota goes for a Hawk here opposite lane, maybe I don't know, or maybe just Mighty. No, he goes for a Mighty to the back. Okay, so just setting up for defense. But in this matchup, it's pretty important to like you really need to find an opening because if you just defend the whole game, you're just gonna lose the spell damage. So here, Marvin gets some decent lightning value. Just goes for airs as well. Like this is what I mean. He just got like 500 damage there, like for no reason. And Basota goes for Yucam. There, kind of misses the fisherman. It's kind of a bummer, but he can just go for Ice Spear. Doesn't really matter that much. He goes for a Mighty there. Then goes for some Skellies on the back. Marvin goes for a very interesting rage there, but Basota just goes for a perfect can, allowing the Mighty Mire to stay locked on the Goblin Giant. He goes for a Hog there. So I think Marvin just goes for, Fisherman here, activating the King Turrets. Hasn't gotten yet, which, I mean, doesn't really matter. He has not, but like, in these types of matchups, you can't really be like afraid to give them King Tower. It's gonna happen regardless. It doesn't matter that much. So Basota goes for an interesting Firecracker there. Just plays it to the side, just making sure the opponent can't really go for arrows. Getting the tower damage. But opponent does go for lightning, and this is where it gets tricky. Just level 16 Goblin Giant just does not want to die. And here I thought it was over. I was watching the end season, but here I really thought that Basota just lost. And bro, the comeback that he makes, it's absolutely insane. So here opponent has Evil P.E.K.K.A, Goblin Giant push here, and I think he just saves up for a Lightning here. I think he Lightnings the Mighty Mark, but look at this Hawk. Look at this Hawk, pressure wall defending, allowing the Mighty Mark to like completely obliterate the Goblin Giant, and Hawk got 2 hits. This is very huge. This is what kind of like gave him the lead that he needed. So he pops the ability. Fisherman is out of the range. He goes for a Hawk. He has to go for a P.E.K.K.A here, and the Hawk's still gonna get 2 hits. He goes for Evil Firecracker there, knowing that he can't really stop it. Just goes for a Fisherman there, but it just way too little, too late. He goes for an Ice Spirit, and at this point he just needs some Earthquake locks, and it's over. So I think here he goes. He just goes for a Mighty Mar, goes for a Can High, and what does he do here? Just goes for Firecracker, just opposite fully defend. Fair enough. Just goes for another cannon, just making sure. I think he like sags the P.E.K.K.A, which I was kind of scared watching the sand season, but just goes for Earthquake Log. Just need to cycle to another one. But this was just masterclass. I mean, he was down like 2,000 damages. Manages to come back, and this is just crazy, bro. Basota just built a different Hawk. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, go check out Basoda's channel in the description, and I'll see you boys in the next one. Peace.